grew up a generation too late, I guess, because now the way the system works, the loner, the dreamer, the crackpot who comes up with some crazy idea that everybody laughs at and later turns out to revolutionize the world, he's squashed from above before he even gets his head out of the water because the bureaucrats. They'd rather kill a new idea than let it rock the boat. This is a quote from a true visionary of the automobile industry found on www.imdb.com on March 10th, 2020. According to www.richardcole.com, accessed March 10th, 2020, my nominee was a rebel, a visionary in the automotive world by creating a car so far ahead of time that it still might have not been caught up to today. My nominee to the American Hall of Fame was a maverick car designer, Preston Tucker. I chose to speak about Preston Tucker because actually in my senior year high school economics class, we got to briefly learn about him and the cars he designed. And ever since, I've wanted to learn more and I wanted to know about him. Today I will discuss Preston Tucker's early life, his education, his automotive career, his death, and most importantly, why I think he should be elected to the American Hall of Fame. I think Preston Tucker should be in the American Hall of Fame because he was a gifted entrepreneur and technological visionary who challenged the automotive industry. According to www.bookrags.com, accessed March 10th, 2020, Preston Tucker was born September 21st, 1903, on a peppermint farm in Kapok, Michigan. He grew up in the suburb of Detroit, Lincoln Park, where he became fascinated with anything that had to do with automobiles. He learned to drive at the age of 11, and just 2 years later, he quit school to become an office boy for Cadillac. He moved up to a career as a mechanic and test driver for Ford, Studebaker, Chrysler, and Pierce Arrow, and he later returned to school in 1921, going to Cost Technical School in Detroit. According to www.motor1.com, accessed March 10th, 2020, Preston became a regional manager for Pierce Arrow in the 1930s. It was there that he met Henry Miller, who was an engine designer, and in 1935 they formed the Miller-Tucker Company and they built automobile engines. According to the Encyclopedia of World Biography, Henry Ford, who was the owner of Ford, created their first customer. He signed the first contract and they were to produce high-performance engines for race cars that were for the Ford Company to race in Indianapolis. It ended up that Miller-Tucker was not able to bring the engines up to spec for Ford, so their contract was then canceled and the company was folded. According to www.automotivehistoryonline.com, accessed March 10th, 2020, Preston Tucker died of lung cancer on December 26, 1956 in Ypsi, Michigan, Ypsilanti. At this time of his death, he was working on another car, the Carioca. It was a sports car to be built in Brazil. According to www.imdb.com, accessed March 10th, 2020, although there are only 50 of the Tucker cars built, still 46 of them are still roadworthy and in use actually today. Tucker's innovation of aerodynamic styling, padded dash, pop-out windows, seat belts, even fuel injection and disc brakes, all those things you'll still see being used in cars today. They were just very slowly adopted by the rest of the car industry. Today, I have discussed Preston Tucker's early life, his education, his automotive career, his death, and most importantly, once again, why I think he should be elected to the American Hall of Fame. Because he was a man of pioneering spirit, integrity, and daring who revolutionized Detroit in the 1940s by creating an automobile every American dreamed of owning at a price point that was affordable by almost everybody. I urge you to elect Preston Tucker to the American Hall of Fame.